Hello, my name is Randy Kamal. I am a senior at Western Oregon University. I am not simply a senior, but I am a team member of Debug entities. We decided to create a D&D toolkit website for this project for our senior project. When you reach this level, this is something you will create for your last project of your computer science degree. Don't worry, it does not have to be the same. You can create anything you would want, but it will have to be a website. However, you do not need to think about that right now. Right now, you're probably starting your first or second class of computer science. And those who have already taken some computer science courses, this is your first or second at Western Oregon University. Welcome. I remember my first class in computer science, which was CS 161. It's pretty hard learning a new language, something I have never done before. However, as time goes by, you will be able to create projects like this one. You will have many projects along the way in many of your classes. However, do not worry, it will be okay. Simply take it step by step. As you learn more in your classes, you will be able to create many functions and methods and be able to access certain functions from calling another method within another class. It might seem boring or complicated at the time, but the outcome will be cool. For example, I created a login using ASP.NET MVC. I was able to create a login. If we go here, you're able to use a username and a password to be able to log in the website, because if not, you won't be able to access like this area right here, or maybe this, or something like that. See, this is something you will be able to do when you start learning more about coding and about MVC. I also integrated a key to be able to use Google. This is a way to be able to know you're trying to log in using Google. And there you go, you're logged in. And it says right there. So log off. Then we can also use Facebook. Try logging in using Facebook. Also, Twitter. And so on, using able to authorize. And all this is through a key that you will learn how to use and function throughout the website. And not only that, you will be able to even make things look really nice. So if we log in one more time, you can see that the contact page is really nice, outlined, a website, a background. And then here we can see that. Even tutorials you'll be able to use and see functioning of how to use our website. And this is only accessed through logging in. And some features are allowed to not able to log in, so other users can know how to do the website. And you will be able to create many different types of functions and methods using this code that you learn in your classes. And it's not just some bunch of functions, for eaches, and all that. If statements, you'll be able to create even quizzes just to be able to know what you're actually doing. To do, and much more. Not just this. You'll do many more things and more complicated things, and it'll be fun. So enjoy it. Good luck.
Hello, my name is Ian Overst, and this is the part of my project that I'd like to show off. It's a map that needs to be both flexible and easy to use, as well as storable within our database for later access. This posed a rather complex problem, as these images you see here can't exactly be stored in a workable SQL format. Due to this, I had to come up with something. These tiles are actually part of a table that has many different hidden parts to it that you can't see. Based on this format, I decided to create an algorithm that runs through each and every one of these squares and checks what's inside it before assigning it a character value corresponding to what is held within. At the very end of the save process, it checks this value and assigns it into a roughly 400 character long string that it can then be accessed later. I think this just goes to show the value of the basics, where I had a complex problem and I tried to find a very neat solution, but I ended up just falling back on the basics of for loops and if statements to create a logic program that does a fairly complex task in a simple way. It might be a bit crude, but I'm both proud of how it turned out, and it turned out to be very easy in terms of storage space.
Hello, my name is Zid Al-Swaib, and I will talk about an API and how did we implement it in our project. So what is an API? So an API is, I think the simplest way I can explain it is, so just imagine if you are in a restaurant and you have a menu, and this menu has, like some lunch, breakfast, and dinner. And you get to choose what you want from that menu. So an API is almost the same thing. So it should have some information, and you are the one who decides what kind of information that you want to extract from that API. Now I will show you the API link that we used in our website. So this is the API link that we used in our website. So as you can see in here, we have count and we have results. So the count here should indicate how many indexes we have inside this array. And the reason why I know this thing is an array is because this brackets. So this bracket should indicate that everything inside of it is an array or is a list. And everything inside the curly brackets is under one index. So the first one here is index 0. This index is at 1. And so in our project, we just wanted to take the names. So what we did in here is we just extracted the names from every single index in here. And now I will show you how did we code this. So the first line in here, just making sure that the link or the API link that we're using is valid. And after that, we made an empty list. So this empty list should have every single name that we're going to extract from the results. And this result is a list in here, as you can see. So like we just want to enter this list and we want to take all the names from it. So what we did in here is we made just a loop, like a for loop, and we said according to the count that we saw in here, I want you to enter the results and grab all the names from the results. And when you do that, I want you to store it in a variable so I can view it in the view page. So after making sure that we took all the names, now I can show you like an example of what I meant by that. So as you can see, like we have so many names in here, and all those names were taken from this API. So as you can see here, we have like the first name is that one. So when we go there and we watch the first one, it's the same exact one. And that one should be this one as well. So we were successful in doing that. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.